you said as you were growing up, you loved like the farming aspect, you like to sell the wine, all of it. So, currently, what's your favorite part of the winemaking process? Like the part that you most look forward to doing?
Now, generally, I like the diversity. I like to be able to go out to the vineyard. I like to go down to the cellar and have my time or my silence in the cellar and to enjoy the time of the work there. And I love to do tastings and the sales. So actually, I think I wouldn't like to do it if I have to do the same all year long. So it's really the diversity which I enjoy most in the job I am doing. Definitely, yeah. But I really like to follow the wines in the cellar and to think about how to produce the wines and what to do with them, and to have a kind of an idea in mind. I think with a winemaker, we are some kind of artists, and it's like when you're drawing a picture, painting a picture, you have an idea in your mind, and that's the same with the wine production. I absolutely have in mind what I'm going to do with the grapes when they are coming to the cellar, and that's actually the most exciting time of the year. Definitely harvest.
Oh, right. It's all like coming together. That's so exciting. I want to work a harvest one day so badly, but maybe next year will be our year, right? Yes. Right, Mallory? So Christina, do you go by Christina or do you go by Tina? What's your preferred?
Actually, I'm Christina. Yeah.
Okay. I saw your email. Is she a Tina? I didn't know.
Yeah, that's because my mother's name is Christina. So it's really complicated, and so they shortened my name to Tina. But actually, I prefer Christina.
Okay, beautiful. I think of you as Christina. So I was like, I'm going to ask. So anyway, what do you like stylistically? What do you look for in the wines that you drink, and the ones that you produce? Like, flavor profiles and that type of thing.
Balance is the most important thing for me. Balance in the wine. It can be a full-bodied wine which is balanced, and it can be a very light, enjoyable wine which is balanced too. But I will not enjoy both of them when there's no balance in the wine. And I think that's the most important aspect when thinking about wine and how to produce wine. And when you have certain circumstances, certain vintages, you have a very powerful vintage, you have a very high in extract or high alcohol vintage, you have to find something which is balancing this thing. If you have a lighter, a cooler vintage, you have to think something which is balancing this cooler aspects and the acidity. And if there is no balance in the wine, I will not enjoy it. It doesn't mind whatever wine it is. In all the wines I'm producing, I need the balance. And I'm not stopping, or I'm not bottling before I have the balance.
Fine. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah. So kind of touching back on, I guess, how you guys do your farming, and y'all are really passionate about, keeping things as organic as possible. How do you feel about kind of just the term natural wine in general, or like the natural wine movement? Like, would you consider yourself a natural winemaker? Do you consider maybe, y'all's wines to be natural? Everybody's constantly kind of arguing back and forth. What is natural wine? What's the definition? There's not really a final kind of definition of that these days. So how would you kind of define that, and where do y'all's wines kind of fit into that spectrum?
Yeah, that's a big problem. For me, that's a really big problem, because there is no clear definition what's natural wine, or there are just those two big groups of natural wine and conventional wine. But in this big group of conventional wine, there is a big diversity too, because does it mean is natural wine only unfiltered? Or is there are so many questions, and I don't like the term natural wine, because all my wines are natural. They are grown in the vineyards. They are produced from grapes without any chemicals or anything or any additives or nothing, just sulfur, which is actually occurring naturally too during fermentation. So what is natural? There's no definition, and it's such a common and hardly used or so many often used word and term, which I think is not correct. So for me, natural wine production is when the winemaker is thinking about the wine, is taking care of the wine, and is not using any additives. Then it is natural. But it has nothing to do with filtration for me. You can have, for example, we are not filtering our high-end red wines at all because they are settling for 18 to 24 months in the cellar, and they're completely clear when we are bottling them just by natural sedimentation. It's natural too. It's really hard, and I cannot answer your question. But if you ask me, for me, the Christina wines as well as the Netzl wines are both natural wines, because I know how they are produced and I know what I'm doing, and I'm really taking care of nature and all these aspects.
Mm-hmm. Great. I love that answer. I agree with you a lot on the misuse of the term, and yeah, I completely agree with everything you just said, for sure. We debate this in the shop a lot amongst ourselves, so definitely interesting to hear your input on that. And
can I add just? Yeah. I would like to, maybe I want to split these two wines I'm producing, the Christina and the Netzl wine, due to other aspects. You know, the Christina wines are easy drinking wines. They're fruit driven. They are fun, actually. Yeah, they are really nice to drink, and I really enjoy to produce them and to drink them. The Netzl wines are wines with origin. They are wines with a deeper, more complex, multi-layered style. Here, I really want to focus on the origin Carnuntum and on the complexity. And there are so many other aspects. Maybe they're harder to understand, but they have definitely more to tell you, and maybe they are a little bit more interesting when you're interested in wine, so drink it, or what else. But this has nothing to do with natural wine or conventional wine production.
Right.
It's just another goal of the production.
Yeah. And since, you guys are also, consider your wines natural, whatever, organic farming, all of that, how do you feel about like biodynamic farming and that kind of process? Is that something that you would think about, kind of exploring in your farming, or you guys kind of just, want to stick to organic? How do you feel about, biodynamic winemaking and all that good stuff?
Yeah, it's really interesting for me too, and we are already using certain aspects and certain things, or following certain ideas of the biodynamic production. However, for me, it makes sense when you are really using the full cycle of nature, and the full process, do everything by yourself, have everything on your own land, in your own region, in your own culture. So by now, I'm really focusing on organic production with certain aspects of biodynamic production, but at the moment, I don't have in mind to change to biodynamic production. No. It's and the scene, the wine scene of biodynamic production is completely different again. I don't think that my idea of wine production completely fits into this sector. I have to say, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
By now, but there will be a development too. It's like organic when it started, and maybe I don't say we will never do that. By now, at the moment,
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I've definitely done a lot of research on it, and it's definitely a process. It's not something you can just decide to do overnight and all of a sudden your vineyards are certified biodynamic. So, but yeah, that's interesting to hear that you guys are using some of those methods here and there, for sure. Yeah.
I think you have to live this this idea of biodynamic, 100% in person yourself, and that's at the moment that's not me, but
yeah,
that's it.
That's great. Follow your truth, you know.